guys the hippo happening, my trippo trappening, willy whackening, flogs are flailing, clod collecting, Klondike bar, egg timers. My name is Charles Hellier. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Just got out of the shower. I did dry it as much as I can, but I have clocked recently that if I hair dry my soaking wet hair all the way to dry, it just goes bad and I don't like it. But if I do it like halfway from soaking wet and then it's still a little bit, if it does the rest itself, all is right with my kingdom. You probably noticed I'm wearing a very special jumper today. It's because we're very near to Christmas, and this jumper, the jumper side of it says love, says warmth, says hugging. The Freddy Krueger side of this jumper says be careful. Yes, be careful. So it feels like recently, like a doorway in my mind has been opened, which is a really nice feeling, especially, you know, after years of stagnation. The second I hit record on my camera, everyone's like, we've got to email him now. Oh, I see. Outlook's usual tricks, making the you've got an email noise when there is no new email. Outlook, more like in blind. Ugh, I don't like that. The image that conjures up, in blind. I just it makes me picture of like having your eyeballs the wrong way round, so that you're blind and all that you can ever see is your own brain lit from the light coming through your nostrils. You're like, that is not what you would be like, but it is. I'll tell you what, it is me acting out how you would feel inside. So I was having a chat with my good friend, the star of Dan Gall, the other day. A lot of you guys may know him. His name is Dan. He also has some of my name in his name. And lately I've been broadening horizons, just like, it started with coins. I do think it started with coins. I did some coin stuff, then I realised, hey, I'm starting to retain geographical and historical information. So usually people retain that information just so that they can wank in public without actually needing their penis out. You know, the something in 1982, and there's something, and you just want to come back at them and say, how do you know this? Why do you know this? More importantly, why are you telling me this? But with me, I have a reason. You know, dates when currencies switch over, when different people on the back of the coin swap over, I'm starting to retain some of this stuff. So when I blabber and go, oh, do you know in 1971, there's actually a reason as to why I know that. And I'm not just being an absolutely dislikable arse. Got to put quite a lot of power into that arse that made me feel quite lightheaded. All the blood rushed to my head just for a brief moment. Arse! That's the sort of arses you get on Instagram. But I think it's fair to say that learning is a thing. You have to learn. You have to learn to be able to learn. And you can get out of practice with learning, which can make learning hard to learn stuff with at stuff learning do in of discussion. But the coinage just made me sort of go, oh, learning, that's an idea. Learning might be fun. I've also been learning aerobics. Yes, I have seen that viral video, and yes, it did make me want to be invincible. But we got this and we got that and we got guitar playing, and I feel like this is my final hurdle for guitar playing because I've actually got a real live human being in the room with me to talk about the guitaring, and it made me realise a lot about why I couldn't learn before, and it's because I really did need a real live human being there with me in the room. I try and watch videos, and I think the problem is the questions you can ask or would want to ask when you're learning something are so personal and so relative to how your mind works and what is getting at your brain as a blockage as to why the information can't get into you. I was stopping him every 2 seconds. I was just like, why is this? Why is that? Why? What's going on here? So I watched a keyboard video the other day with a 10 minutes, everything you need to know. First of all, never ever trust that. That's like those adverts that are like, lose your belly fat in 90 days. And you're like, absolute bollocks. But I watched this video anyway, and he ran through the notes you get on the keyboard. He then said what the flats were or what the majors were, and I'm sitting there like, but why are they? What are they? You can't just tell me what they are and expect me to go, okay. The retention value in that information is non-existent. It's something I've always said about like answering any question. You can't just say something factual without explaining why, because then it makes no sense. And why is potential information to be retained in and of itself. It's like, if you can remember even a small part of why, it's like that you're remembering the first breadcrumb that will take you back to the main point that you were taught. Grabbing the bull by the horns, grabbing the tiger by the tail. Although I wouldn't want to grab a tiger by the tail, because he'd just spin around and eat you. Actually, no, he won't eat me because I look like a tiger. No, I don't. I meant a lion. Do tigers eat lion? Who would win in a fight, a tiger or a lion? I think it's one of those up for debates. Depends who's been eating the most beef that day. I mean, what if a lion fights a tiger, but the lion has epilepsy? And, like, the tiger goes for him. The lion dodges. But as all the stripes whoosh past the lion's eye, all he sees is black, orange, black, orange, black, orange. And the lion starts having an epileptic seizure. The difficulty, the tiger it'll be an easy battle. It would be, like if I got into the ring with Mike Tyson, now he's a very large man, but if he, I don't know, an anvil hit him on the head and he fell to the ground, then it would be an easy fight, despite the fact that I have no boxing experience and I'm a small, large marshmallow. I'd be able to defeat him, because when you're unconscious, it is incredibly difficult to win a fight. So, can't quite remember where I was. We're just going to go back to me, Dan, and the guitar, which sounds like a sitcom. But it's so funny how you never quite know what is actually going to click with you, what is actually going to make the ball start rolling. Because when you're going to learn anything complicated or technical, or something that requires muscle memory or skill or all that sort of stuff, all the things you can complicate in your mind, and you never really know what is going to suddenly unclog it. And for me, it was really simple. And for people that know the guitar, this is going to be really simple to you. He played the same chord using different... Do you know what? To explain what he did, I've just realised that I haven't retained the terminology enough to explain what he did. He didn't do anything amazing, by the way. It was just amazing to me, He hit the same sound. Well, we're going to use that word, all right? All right? We're in this together now. He produced the same sound using different parts of the guitar, holding different frets, holding different parts of the guitar. He produced the exact same sound, and that, I have no idea why, that just made me suddenly go, I can learn the guitar. It's such a weird thing. I think it's because it made me understand like the construction side of learning to play the guitar, and how you generally make the sound from the guitar. And when I say make, I mean like from a construction point of view. I don't know, it just excited me. Unfortunately, I have no guitar, so this excitement has been placed upon the shelf just for the moment. At the end of the month, I'm probably going to be a second-hand guitar, because you want a good one, but not a cheap one. And I know you guys have probably seen that I do actually own a guitar, which I think has been in there for the past videos. It got a Stern dressing down from our man, who is particularly nerdy about guitars, and found various faults with said guitar. The theory is that, bear in mind, I did obtain it from a charity store. The theory is that it is a cheapo guitar, possibly from Argos, possibly £25 brand new, and possibly been played a lot, and possibly is very old. So it not only does it have everything wrong with it, but getting it up to speed may indeed be stupid. So I have opted not to repair this guitar. You know, he pointed out like some of the frets are coming out on it. I didn't even notice that. I mean, it looks like something from the cutting floor of Dr. Robotnik's lavatory. It's not good. But the point is, I will get a new guitar, and then I'll become a guitar man. We've already set aside some songs. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but you'll know because I will play them for you. And that is going to be one of my little Everests, is that there will be some guitar videos on here. Might be bad, don't know. I'm not sure if I'll ever have the stones to play in front of real live people. Who knows? I might get encouraged with Dan, that real live person. But you never know. It's just weird. I'm now on like this, like learning is. I'm fearless towards education right now. I was building a set earlier for that Smoking Robots project I told you about. I had to build a house. And I was having a real difficulty because I made a house that's had like, I was just sketching it on a sketch pad, and it had like a really open plan to it. And I was like, surely there needs to be a pillar somewhere here. Otherwise, I know it's just a comic strip, but in my mind, it just doesn't look right. And even sitcom homes that have really open plans still have a logical pillar or column in them. That would, you know, if the set was a real home, that pillar or column would make sense because it's holding the roof up. So I just like went onto YouTube, just started watching, you know, like construction videos about where columns and pillars get placed, and it's just sort of weird how like that sort of part of the willingness to learn has been opened, and it's really quite nice. And I'm going to become a theatre kid in the new year. That's my other plan. Because there's this place nearby, a theatre called the White Rock, and I just looked up what they got going, and they got some really good stuff. I mean, you know, it's Christmas time, so you got like your Cinderella and you know, your Pantos and stuff like that. But in April, there's Joe Brand live. That's brilliant. October 2024. I don't know why they're advertising it that early. It's Ben Elton. And I did think about it because, you know, I'm a big fan of like comic strip days and stuff like that. But I also worry, like, what if he's really political? Because the blurb that advertises it is like, things are more political now more than ever. And I was like, so that means Ben Elton has to ascend from the sky to save us all. There was an adult panto, Beauty and the Big Beast, right up my alley, but unfortunately I have discovered it too late. Oh, is it too late? 24th of January? I would have had money by then. But anyway, the point is, I think I'm just going to become like a theatre haunter, a phantom of the opera, a fatum of the opera. Although I am too scared to go to an actual opera. Like I'm worried I'll find it boring. I'm worried like I'll like go in there and I'll be like, opera, culture, and I will just be wanting to die the whole time. You never know. The point is, my mind is opening like the fridge of a fat man. And I love it. Roll on New Year, because, you know, it's still Christmas coming up, and so it's like life has to pause while we're waiting for Christmas to pass, you know. It's like a really smelly train, and you're waiting for the train to go by, and the smell hits you. I don't know where I'm going with this analogy. I think I might make another video before Christmas, but I don't know. if I don't, I will wish you a happy Christmas now, just in case. I know I've trashed Christmas in the last couple of seconds, but I hope you have a good one and not a bad one. And Christmas is a wonderful time of year. If you're, if you're not introverted, borderline antisocial, generally annoyed by everything and hate Paul Rudd. If you're that sort of person, it's not a lot of fun. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. See you later.